Hello everyone, this is Professor Mir Shah once again with another video. In this video, we are going to solve a sum based on job sequence where there are n number of jobs and 3 machines. So let us see how we need to solve a sum based on n job and 3 machines. Okay, now in this video, we are going to learn job sequencing sum where we have n number of jobs and 3 machines. Okay, so now let us see what the question is given to us as. Okay, they are given us 5 jobs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are given us 3 machines and their respected processing time in minutes. Now, in order to solve such kind of sum where they ask you to find the elapsed time and the idle time of the respected machine. Okay, the very first step in order to solve such kind of sum is, first, you have to group them. So let's say out of 3 machines, we have to convert the 3 machines or group the 3 machines into 2 machines. So let's say I will make now machine G, which is a combination of machine A plus machine B, and machine H, which is a combination of B plus C. Step number 1, whenever they are giving you 3 machines A, B and C, first we always convert those 3 machines into 2 machines. So we are assuming let machine G be equal to A plus B, that is the processing time of A plus B, and H be the total of B plus C. So now we'll have to create the similar table where we'll have particulars, maybe we'll have jobs. Okay, so the columns will be similar. First we note down the job and then we'll note down the 2 machines, which is G and H. Under job we have job number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 jobs. Now in order to note down the values of the processing time of machine G, that is we'll have to calculate A plus B. So 22 plus 21, that is 43. Next 25 plus 22, that is 47. 23 plus 19, which is 42. 22 plus 20, which is again 42. And 24 plus 19, which is 43. Similarly for machine H, we have to add B plus C. So 21 plus 23, that is 44. 22 plus 24 is 46. 19 plus 22, which is 41. 20 plus 25, which is 45. And last 19 plus 40, which is 39. So from 3 machines, we have converted into 2 machines. After doing that, now we have to find step number 2. We need to find the optimal job sequence. Okay, now this particular kind of a sum, okay, that is machine 2 and machine 3, okay, I have posted a couple of videos earlier also. So those who are going through this video, see that you all even go through those videos to get a better revision of this particular topic. Okay, now coming back to the optimal job sequence, always remember from the left side, okay, the left, see this is how you all have to create a table where you'll have 5 columns. Okay, on the left side you will have to note the first machine's name, which is machine G. And on the right side you will have to note the next machine's name, that is machine H. Now very simple, whichever is the, we have to fill up this table by one simple rule. Whichever is the lowest, okay, whichever is the lowest value, that is the processing time, whichever is lowest in our second table, look at the table that we have created, okay, that job will be first selected to the respected machine, and so on. We'll have to keep going with the next greatest, the next greatest and the next greatest. Okay, first we always take the lowest time. Now in your entire table, the lowest time which is recorded is 39. That's 39 minutes. Now that 39 minutes is of machine H. Okay, and it is corresponding to job number 5. So under machine H, so if it is corresponding to machine H, it will start from the right side. If it machine G, it will start from the left side. Since it is of machine H, 39 is of H and it is corresponding to job 5. So under job H, we will write, or in machine H, we will write job number 5. Now since this has been selected, this goes off. Now the next smallest number, okay, the next smallest value that we can see is 41. Again 41 corresponds to machine H, so it will come on the right side, and the job which is selected is job number 3. So this also goes off. Now the next smallest number which is available is 42, which is of G, and under G it is machine number 4. So we on the left side we write 4. The next smallest number available is 43. So which is of G, which is machine 1, and whatever is remaining that will come in the last place, that is machine number 2. So this is our optimal job sequence. We'll start with machine 4, then job 4, 1, 2, 3 and 5. Now let us see the actual calculation. Okay, now we'll start with the calculation of the elapsed time and the idle time. So I have prepared a table. Let us fill up the details in the table. The very first thing we need to note down is job. Now, whenever you are calculating the main table, we will again have to shift to the main question because there are 3 machines, so we'll have to note down in that way. So we have machine A, we have machine B and C, and along with that we'll be calculating the idle time. Idle time of machine A, B and C. Under the remaining columns, under machine A, we need to find the in time and out time. Similarly for B, in time and out time, and for C, the in time and out time. Okay, so now this is the basic, the headings of your table that we need to start. Now in order to start the sum, first we'll note down the job as per the optimal job sequence. First job is job number 4, then we have 1, 2, 3 and last 5. Now in order to start, we'll have to take up one machine at a time. First we are only going to solve for machine A. Always remember, in order to start for any machine, whether it is a 2 machine sum or a 3 machine sum, the first calculation, the first in time of the very first machine will always be 0. Because at 0 hours you're going to start your job. Out time, so now let us calculate that. 0 plus, in machine A for job number 4, it has taken 22 hours. So 0 plus 22, which is 22. Okay, the first job to get over it took 22 hours. Whatever is the out time will become the in time for the next job. So that is 22 hours. Out time 22 plus, in job number 1 it has again taken 22 hours. So that is 44. Again out time will become in time. So 44 plus, for job number 2 it was 25, which is 69. Again out time becomes in time, so 69 plus job number 3 is 23, which is 92, and again last 92. So we have 92 plus job number 5 is 24, so we get the value as 116. So with this we were able to complete job in machine A ka all the details. Now similarly we'll start with machine B. Now remember, machine A, the first job took 22 hours. So the in time of the next machine will always be the out time of the first machine in the first case. So here the in time will be 22 hours. Okay, it is directly starting from 22, so there's a jump. So I'm just putting a star here. Why? That I'll show you later on. Now the out time. Now we again solve in the same manner the out time. the out time will be 22 plus the time taken by job number 4, that is 20. So that becomes 42. Okay, again, remember here, this is the most crucial part. Now, the machine B completed its job in 42 hours. Now, as we said, whatever is the out time will become the in time. But always remember, from second machine onwards, you have to compare the out time with the out time of the next or of the previous machine. If this out time is less than 44, now for example in this case 42 is less than 44, then your in time from the next machine will always be 44 or the amount which is corresponding to the previous machine. Reason, if you're finishing your first job in 42 hours, okay, your second job cannot start at 43 hours. Why? Because A is taking 44 hours to complete the second job. So you will always start after that. So here I have, I'm putting a star because there's a jump in the number of hours. From 2 hours it became 42, it became 44. So again same way, 44 plus the next job, okay, it took 21 hours, which is 65. Again 65 is smaller than 69, so we'll note down 69 here. So 69 plus, for job number 2 it took 22 hours, which is 91. Again 91 less than 92, so we have to note down the greater value, that is 92. So again 92 plus, for job number 3 it was 19 hours, so that became 111. Again 111 less than 116, so we note down 116. Last 116 plus 9, okay, my bad, this was 20. Okay, 116 plus 19, which is 135. Okay, so with this we have completed with machine B. Similarly, we jump to machine C now. Again, machine B took 42 hours to complete the first job, so the in time of machine C will be 42 hours. And again we go in the same order. 42 plus job number 4 is 25, so which will give you 67. Again, now 67 is greater than 65. Again, greater than 65. 67 is greater than 65, so we have no issues here. We directly note down 67 because it is a greater number. So always remember, if the out time is greater than the out time of the previous machine for the next job, okay, then we use the same value. If it is small, then we use the previous value. Next, 67 plus job number 1 is 23, which is 90. Now 90 is smaller than 91, so I'll have to note down 91 here. Again I go in the same order. 91 plus 24, which will give you 115. Again 115 greater, so no issues. 115 plus, for job number 3 it is 22 hours, so it will give you 137. Okay, 137 greater than 135, again no issues. Okay, now similarly for the last one, it is 20, so that becomes 157. So with this we have completed the major part of the sum. Now we'll have to start finding the various values. So number 1, the very first thing that we need to find is the total minimum elapsed time, that is the total time taken, the minimum total time taken to complete all the job, which is equal to the last answer in machine C, that is 157 minutes. 157 minutes. Okay, now we have to find the idle time of each machine. Now let us see how do we calculate the idle time of each machine. First we go to machine A and we try to figure out if there is any number which is jumping around. Now 0 to 22, 22 to 20, 44, 44 to 69, 69 to 92, 92 to 116. There is no jump in the number. So here it's all continuous, so no issues. The only thing is machine A job was completed in 116 minutes, but the final time taken to complete all the job was 157 minutes. So the difference between the last answer, that is 157 and 116, is 41 minutes. So the idle time that machine A had to wait was 41 minutes. Okay, so second, we need to find idle time. So for idle time, machine A was idle for 41 minutes. Now we have to find for machine B. Now machine B directly started with 22 minutes. So before that it was all idle. So 22 minutes is idle. Now next 42 say 44. There is a 2 minute ka jump. So that is idle time for the second job. From 67 to 69. So we have 67, 68, 69. It's 65. From 65 to 69. So we have a 4 minute jump. From 91 say 92, there is 1 minute jump. From 111 to 116, there is a 5 minute jump. Plus machine B ka final job got over at 135 minutes and the final elapsed time is 157 minutes. So the difference between the two, okay, 157 minus 135, which is 22 minutes. So idle time of machine B is equal to the total of 22 plus 2, 24, 28, 29, 34, 44 and 54 and 256 minutes. Similarly for machine C started at 42 minutes, so we have an idle time of 42 minutes at the beginning. 67, 67 no gap, 90, 91 yes, 1 minute ka gap, 15, 15, 137, 137, that's it. There is no other gap in between. So 42 plus 1 for machine C, the idle time which is recorded is 43 minutes. With this entire problem sum comes to an end. Okay, we completed the sum based on n job and 3 machine. Step number 1, we combine 3 into 2. We find the optimal job sequence. Into the calculation part, we calculate the in time and out times of various machines. And lastly, we calculate the idle time. Okay, and after calculating, we note down the total elapsed time and the idle time of the 3 machines. With this, the sum based on job sequencing, where we have n number of job and 3 machines, comes to an end. Again, those who are observing this video or viewing this video, okay, I have uploaded few more videos on job sequencing. See that you all even go through those, okay, which will help you to clarify and revise this particular topic. Thank you.